new Midwest Industries mounts for your red dot. Let's check it out. Midwest Industries is known for its really high quality parts. I have a number of their handguards for the AR-15, for the Ruger PC9 carbine, and a lot of others. And they're just good, solid parts. They've just released their new line of mounts for red dots. And you have your standard mounting system that goes right on your Picatinny rail, but they're also offering the quick detach mounts. These are also available for your AimPoints or for your Trijicon MRO. And for full disclosure, I want to thank Leviathan Group for having Midwest Industries send these mounts for this test and evaluation. Now when it comes to red dots, most are either in the AimPoint configuration or for the MRO. And it has a lot to do with the way the base is underneath and how it fits to the base. But most of your red dots are the AimPoint system. And whether that's Vortex, primary arms, of course your AimPoint, your Holosun, a lot of different types are compatible with your AimPoint setup. Now here are the two different styles, and the MRO is right here on the right. It's just a plain trough in the bottom, and then you have 4 screws. With the AimPoint, you have a small little square, and this fits onto the optic, and it gives it a little more stability, and then you have 4 screws as well. Here we have the quick detach mount, and all you have to do is push this little lever, it unlocks it, and then you can bring it and open it up. And then once you attach it to a Picatinny rail, you just close this down and it locks into place. Now one thing I want to show you is right here on the other side, because Picatinny rails are different sizes. There's a little bit of difference with most of them. And so if you just push the back end on here, push it out, you'll notice this kind of comes out. And you can turn this to tighten it, or you can loosen it, and it'll help to make it fit. One thing you don't want to do is when you're pushing this lever is to force the lever down. Once you get to a certain point, it should be some resistance, but not a lot. It should just kind of tighten up. But if you're not careful, you get to here and you can force it, but it's going to do damage to your Picatinny rail. Now you want to have this in the open position, and once you adjust it to put it on your rail, that's all you got to do. I mean, it is super fast. Take it off, just push the little lever in the back, pull it up, take it off. And then we can throw the MRO on there. Of course, we'll need to bring the lever back, pop it on. I mean, how fast is that? With the standard screw-on mount for the non-quick detach mount, it's just 2 screws that go right into each of the Picatinny rails, and then it fits across. Now one thing you're going to notice on the other side, they have helicoil steel threads. And so you have a steel bolt, and it goes into these steel threads. And so it gives it a better lockup than going directly into aluminum. Now these are billet machined aluminum, and they have a mil-spec hard anodized finish on them. And it's kind of a very matte finish. And then of course you have your steel bolts, which with the helicoil threads will keep from damaging this mount. But it makes it super lightweight. In fact, these weigh less than 2 ounces. This is the low mount for the AimPoint, and you can see it is a very low sight. Now on my Brigade Manufacturing BM9, this actually co-witnesses perfectly with the sight. The red dot is with the sight. But a lot of people like to go with the 1/3 co-witness. And we have this little Vortex spark that's on the 1/3 co-witness. And what that does, it puts your sight right at the bottom, of the 1/3 bottom of your red dot. And so you're able to see your red dot over your sights, but if you need to, you can look and see your sights right there in line. Here is the Trijicon RMO at 1/3 co-witness, and then you have your low mount, which is a direct co-witness. And both of these are quick detach. And so here we have the standard attachment that goes right to your Picatinny rail. Now these run a little bit cheaper, so they're still pretty popular. When you get to these quick detach mounts, they get a little more expensive. One thing I found though is I love the quick detach mount because I'm always taking optics off of different rifles and testing them and putting them on. I really go with the QD mounts, but these are still very strong and very sturdy. Now Midwest Industries also offers a night vision setup. It's a lot larger, takes it right off the rail a good bit more. This allows for you to use night vision goggles behind the sight. One of the things about having night vision goggles is you can't really get a good cheek weld on your stock. And so this allows you to bring that sight up and align it, especially if you're running a PVS 14 or something like that. And so it makes it really easy. But it definitely lifts the sight off of the rail. This is a little bit larger, and it only comes in the fixed mount. You can see the steel helicoil threads that are coming through. Now I took the 3 different height mounts out. We wanted to do the real low, and we have one of the primary arms SLX DM25s. This is a red dot, really excellent sight, and it was riding really low on the BM9 from Brigade Manufacturing. I could see the sights directly in line. I mean, the dot was right at the front post. Then we went with the MRO from Trijicon, and this is on the 1/3 co-witness. And so we had the dot coming out, and underneath I could spot the sights resting underneath. So if something were to happen to my optic, I've got those sights ready to go. And I can kind of make sure that I'm in line. But it was very comfortable to shoot either one of these. And sometimes the low mounts, you have to really get your head down on the stock or the brace. But this seemed to work just very well. And then we brought out the night vision mount, and I got out my PVS 14 and we were shooting with it, just trying to see how it would work, and it worked perfectly fine. Now I have my PVS 14 lined up with my left eye, so when I'm shooting it I have to kind of cant over. But I don't have to get a good cheek weld on the rifle or the pistol to be able to see it. And so it made it very easy to be able to get to it. So if you're wanting to use some kind of optic when you're using night vision, then this is a great way to go. Now personally, I like to use an infrared laser with mine, and I just point the laser. I don't even use a sight, and I look through the PVS 14. But it's really good to have this option available in case you want to run one of these on your rifle if you have a night vision setup. And of course, all these other mounts would fit pretty much the same. Again, really the only difference is you just have your QD on some, and then you have just your screw in on the others. But Midwest Industries makes really excellent products already, and it was no surprise that these really worked out well. The retail price for the QD mounts are $90, and then on the non-QD mounts, they're $64.95. So guys, if you're looking for a really good high quality mount for your red dot, don't go cheap. It's good to have a good solid mount that you can depend on. And Midwest Industries has been putting out great products for a long time, all made right here in the USA. These are good solid, whether you go with the AimPoint system or the MRO. And this pretty much covers most of your red dot mounts out on the market. And again, I want to thank Leviathan Group for connecting me with Midwest Industries to bring this review to you guys. Midwest Industries is good to go. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. The Midwest Industries red dot sight, a standard mount, and also for the that really are high, and having aim. Midwest Industries is known. Midwest Industries is known for and these all fit on your standard. Then we went with the RMR. So guys, if you're looking for a really high quality mount for your red dot, but I highly recommend you checking them out. That's kind of dumb. I highly recommend you checking them out.